hang on a minute. This guy is number 2? What's going on, everyone? Talon back here, and today we're going to be taking a look at 3 different things. First off, we're going to be taking a look at the Raditz events translations when it comes to some of the missions, because I know a lot of people are seeing 900 to 1,000 people and everything like that, and you're like, what the heck, I have to play this event 1,000 times? No way am I going to grind that out. It's actually a lot easier than a lot of people are speculating and everything like that, so I'm going to quickly go through some of the Japanese when it comes to seeing these, just so you can actually kind of learn it yourself as well, and you get to see in the future. If you ever see other missions like this and you're like, hang on, I see a ridiculous high number, what's the kanji next to it? And then there's a catch to this, because this event literally gives you the guy to take this thing down pretty fast, actually, so it's really not that bad. Because we still have about another week and a half or so until this event goes away. It'll probably be back eventually, like all other events do. So, second, I want to go over when the next World Tournament and, you know, maybe the possible LR. And then third is about a little bit of information that came from the Reddit that I found. It's a little surprising. So, I really don't want to make this video too long, so we're going to jump right into it. And I really am sorry if it does get to around 20 minutes. I'm going to try to get to around 15 or so. Let's just see how far it goes. So, first off is the Raditz event. There are a bunch of missions that you've probably seen around that will say 90, big number, 100, 200, 300, 400, etc. essentially, okay? By the way, the gameplay in the background is just me doing the event. This is the way you want to be doing Stage 3 to take care of these missions, okay? So, what the translations actually say, though, is that it will say hyakunin, nihyakunin, sambyakunin. It will say how many enemies. It will say teki, and then it will give you the number, and then it says the kanji for body, which is karada, or there's other translations for it as well, and then it says to take it down, so defeat this amount of enemies. Now, you might be saying to yourself, okay, but when this starts out, there aren't that many enemies to defeat. That's where Stage 3 comes in. You go to the left when you start the stage, and you go through as many of the Cybermen as you possibly can. You take on the Cybermen at the end, which, by the way, is going to be 4 rotations, so 20 in total right there. So, on average, you're taking about 50 guys out, give or take, you know, averaging on about the the dice roll that you get a lot of 1s, you get a lot of 6s and stuff like that. So on average, I found myself personally getting around 50 to 60 enemies. So you really like to do this event about 20 times, give or take, maybe a little bit more, a little bit less, depending on your luck. And you can get most of these items. You get like a couple of the Int Grand Kais, which can raise the SA for 1 of any Int type characters. By the way, that's what the Grand Kais do. The Elder Kai can raise the SA of anyone he wants, so just keep that in mind. And don't forget, we have SSJ3 Bardock coming through, who does have a semi-farmable super attack, depending on where we get the Agility Bardock from. But if it's from stones and maybe you don't get that last one, this can be a way to give you that SA10 right there. Or you can go to SSJ3 Gohan, because eventually over time you will get another Bardock that is agility, and you can farm him and then get him up to help him get your Intel one up to SA10, whereas Gohan does not have a farmable super attack, so you might want to throw him into there. So we'll have to see. Not to mention the store resets on the 30th, which will probably add some more Elder Kais in there to get with the gems and everything like that, just from the story missions and all that stuff, okay? So do keep that in mind, and I know people are going to ask it. Best mission to do the gem farming is going to be on the last stage, first level. So I believe it's 27-1. That is the best way to do that right there, okay? So anyway, so basically what you need to do, though, is you need to farm up the Raditz, get them up to SA10, get all 4 paths unlocked, just because you might as well, okay? And then all you need to do is use his leader skill and use his category, which gives you a boost and getting like items and drops and stuff like that. Because by the way, Stage 3 is really good for getting a lot of training items. And then what you need to do is just go into Stage 3, go to Z hard difficulty, go to the left, take as many of the Cybermen on as you can, and you just use your area of effect. Bring a friend, Raditz, bring Raditz as your leader, and just bring a bunch of people in that category. Raditz can take them out, no problem. I have absolutely no orbs into the guy, and I can take out the entire wave of Cybermen, no problem. And you just keep going on that rotation. Friend, yours, and you just keep doing that. That's all you have to do. So, the only downside to my team is that sometimes I have the ape, so I can throw it off a little bit, but nonetheless, they're not taking any damage, so it's still pretty easy to go for, and overall, it's a lot of good items, so I highly recommend. Just do it once or twice a day, right? Just do it once or twice, and like I said before, you only have to do it around 20 to 22 times, probably depending on your luck of the roll, and boom, you get everything right there. That's 2 Grand Kais and an Elder Kai. No excuses, really, honestly. You really don't, so... So anyway, so Raditz himself, though, overall, though, he's kind of an character. Great for an AOE guy in the fact that you can take, literally is the character to take this event on for, because he increases the stuff that you'll get. My training items are now getting rejuvenized because of this event. So I actually have to tip my hat off to it. So it's pretty nice. Second part that I want to go over though real quick is the World Tournament, and this will tie into what I'm going to talk about with the Reddit post and AOE guys. By the way, AOE stands for Area of Effect. I always get that question for some reason. So AOE means the Area of Effect guys, the guys who can hit the entire team right there. And by the way, Raditz only does the AOE after you Dokkan Awaken him, not before you Dokkan Awaken him. So don't try to take the UR version of him and try to do this event. It's not going to work that way, okay? But anyway, so there is going to be a new LR given in the World Tournament rewards. Now, we don't know what card it is. We don't know when the next World Tournament is. None of that information. If I had to venture a guess, it's either going to be a Christmas one or they're going to refer to the year 3 anniversary is when the next World Tournament will be. That would be my guess at least. I have absolutely no idea when it comes to that stuff. Again, we'll have to just see right there. But overall, we'll have to see what SSR they give us that can Dokkan Awaken into an LR. I'm personally happy. Piccolo's been around for a little bit too long in my liking, but I know some people don't have him, but, you know, so it's giving them a chance and everything like that. But I think a lot of people are agreeing, okay, mate, let's move on to the next one, right? Let's try to get another LR in here. That's another farmable one, kind of, so we'll have to see just what he does. I have 2 LR Piccolos just randomly sitting there. By LRs, I mean the SSR versions. So it will be interesting to see. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, though. Who do you think is going to be the next SSR that will turn into an LR? People are speculating maybe a TN or something like that. I'm not really sure. You have to keep in mind, though, this is going to be an in-game one, so it's not going to be someone too crazy overpowered or anything like that, right? Obviously, the more powerful ones are going to be from the stone banners, not from a world tournament. So we'll have to see, though. I could be wrong, but you don't expect Neo Vegeta Blue or anything like that, okay? So last thing concerning the World Tournament, however, everything's going to connect now. I'm going to be taking the Raditz information in the World Tournament, and we're bringing them together because there is a Reddit post out there, by the way, link in the description below, that talks about the best World Tournament cards to bring, or the AOE guys. So your guys like LR Brawly, the original STR Brawly, LR Majin Vegeta, the Tech Majin Vegeta, Strength Cell, and so on. And the guy did some calculations for the 20 times difficulty and 30 times difficulty, and under certain leaders, you know, based upon just numbers, essentially, we'll have to do a little bit of testing here and there when the next World Tournament comes, but where does this Raditz rank? Because a lot of people were saying, oh man, I can take this Raditz in, and a lot of us are also going like, there's no way Raditz is going to be that good, right? It's a little bit of both, actually. It honestly is a little bit of both. There is a catch to how good Raditz does place in this ranking. If you have it, though, you've actually got yourself a pretty good AOE. So first off, again, if you take a look at the link real quick, which will give you a breakdown of how the guy did it and everything like that. And again, numbers can change over time, whether there's a new leader that comes in or they change something in the difficulty. We don't really know. But overall, the guy basically calculated out under each of these AOE units' best leader, okay, their best leader skills, like LR Brawly. You bring him under himself. You don't bring him under Janimbo, which he does get a better boost, but you don't have a lot of extreme guys who prepare for battle, which is his main key link. So you have to be able to bring LR Brawly, which then allows you to bring people like Super Saiyan 4 Goku, Gogeta, things like that, that will give him that key, so then you can actually get your AOE attack off. Same with LR Majin Vegeta. You got to bring him under the Super Vegeta lead, the new physical one, but you need to make sure you're bringing over in a Flash guys, and then you'll be able to do that as well. Now, the way that he put Raditz in here is that if you have Raditz completely leveled up, SA 10, he can take on 20 times difficulty, no problem, actually, which kind of shocked me when I first saw it, but it makes sense. The numbers show right there. And then it also talks about the fact that he lowers defense, which usually lowering defense doesn't do anything. And this is where the guy does mention that, hey, by the way, this is where some testing will have to come in handy. Lowering defense doesn't do much for us, but for some reason, the World Tournament, it actually does help. So for type disadvantage going where Raditz goes against, say, a tech guy, it's going to be, or sorry, where he goes against physical, that's going to be a little different there. So we'll have to see, again, where that's going to happen. But overall, basically what it's saying is that Raditz can take down to 20 times difficulty, which is pretty cool, right? Hey, we got an in-game card that can take down to 20 times difficulty. If you rainbow him, then, which no offense, I'm not going to do that. If you rainbow him, though, he can take down 30 times difficulty. I'm assuming if you get critical, I don't know. That's one thing I didn't see in there is if he's assuming you get a critical off, or that's just the base damage. I think it's just the base damage. Again, I don't know the guy personally, so if he does happen to see this video, man, by all means, please reply. I'll pin the comment, and you can let everybody know. But anyway, but the one thing that is the catcher to this, because when he ranks them, LR Brawly is, of course, the top, right? LR Brawly is going to destroy this, no problem. He does the most damage. It's easy to get his AOE off, no problem. The second best one due to Raditz's passive though is Raditz himself, both rainbowed and non-rainbowed, because his passive when you're facing 2 or more opponents is you get +6 ki and an attack and defense of an extra 30%, and I believe at the very beginning of the turn he gets a 50% attack and the boost when it's simply the turn starts. So overall, he is really good for the World Tournament in terms of just to get his attack off, right? He can get an attack off on a lot of people, and then say you don't have rainbow, like I'm personally not going to, then you can take down 20 times difficulty quite a bit. The catch to bringing the guy, though, is that you need Boo. The Int Kid Boo gives him the best leader skill for him to get the most attack, and you can take on some of these events. Now, if you don't have Kid Boo, the next person logically to bring would be either Super Baby 2 or to bring Rose, because Rose is a villain lead. You can bring Rose and some other villains to block. Provide, he doesn't really need to provide key or anything like that, but nonetheless, that's a decent boost right there. His own leader skill itself is average for a category leader, I would say. So it's not something you want to rely on, because the reason you want to bring Rose over, say, that his own category lead is that his category lead, again, is limited, whereas if you bring him under Rose, you can at least bring some decent blockers and everything. Now, I know people already are going to be in the comments saying, hey, you can just bring Baby 2, you can bring some items, change the orbs, make the dude super powerful. But you have to remember that bringing someone like that, you expose yourself if you get hit just once. The damage against you is just going to take your life bar and go bam, down to 0 basically, or down to 1 if you're really lucky. So yes, you can also bring, stunners like the Jacko and everything. You can bring a Super Vegito and all that stuff. But the higher the difficulties, it becomes harder to predict where they're going to super. Are you lucky on the rotation? You can even get that stuff. Like say you jump into the battle and your first rotation is the Raditz, and then it's like, maybe some random card that you bring because you don't have everything, and then say your leader or something like that who can't take a hit, and you're just like, oh, well, crap, I'm kind of screwed now, aren't I, right? And then, especially because the World Tournament relies on keeping that multiplier going of, constant wins and not dying, that can hurt you in the long run right there. So you've got to be careful when it comes to bringing this guy. So, again, testing will be needed when it comes to this, but it will be interesting to see. I'm going to take my Kid Boo lead, and I'm going to bring this guy, and I'm going to see what he can do. I'm not rainbowing him. I'm not going to do it. If you want to rainbow him, by all means, go ahead, but honestly, I'd save your into orbs for some other people. If you wanted to maybe give Raditz the level 15 critical that he can get, I could see that being more reasonable. Rainbow, though, that's stretching it for me personally. I know people are going to say, well, if I don't have the best int units, well, then I'm just going to use the into orbs, and that's perfectly well within your power if you want to do that. But down the road, you probably will get other int units that could definitely use those orbs more than Raditz. So I'm just saying right there. But, hey, by all means, it's up to you in the end. So it will be interesting to see, though, are we going to be seeing a trend where we see a lot more Raditz friends? I don't think we will, because, again, Raditz as the leader for the World Tournament is not going to be very popular. I know people will still try to do it on the lower difficulties, which is totally fine if you want to do that. But for those higher difficulties, we're still going to see Brawly. We're going to see a lot more Kid Boos. I can tell you that right now if people are bringing this guy, because it will be definitely very interesting to test him out and see does it work. Because if you have like Int Janemba and you keep him on rotation with that Raditz, Janemba can block everything, Raditz destroys everything. That's how it's going to go, right? So we'll have to again, see what happens when it comes to all this testing and everything. But the post, when I looked at the math, I was like, for the most part, yeah, I think this math is good, yeah. So, again, I was surprised. I was very surprised when I saw this, but I was like, hey, by all means, if the math is sound and it works out and the testing does and everything, then hey, we've got a very good AOE unit, free to play, completely in-game for everyone to use, assuming you actually do go farm this guy. And yeah, of course, again, LR Brawly, still the best. Me personally, I'll try Raditz out, but I'm personally going to bring my Super Vegito category lead, because they're going to have Super Vegito blocking, LR Gohan, my STR Gohan, who gives a defensive boost to block and everything, and then, I'll bring some AOE, some over and a flash guys, Super Saiyan 3 Goku, who's rainbowed for me, and then, just keep those guys on certain rotations, and boom, I'll be able to take them out, and I'll probably bring like an LR Brawly friend, or I'll bring, whatever other friends I find or whatever, to make it easier, and overall, I think it should obviously be fine. I know technically Raditz would definitely be the way to go, or doing double LR Brawly, but I don't have LR Brawly, so well, again, we'll have to do a lot of testing and see what's going on. So, lots of questions here to leave in the comments, guys. What do you think the next LR is going to be? Are you going to be using Raditz? Are you going to be rainbowing him? Personally, not for me, but are you going to rainbow Raditz and all this other stuff? And when do you think the next World Tournament's going to be? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments as always. Sorry if I was talking a little fast. Again, I'm trying to keep, there's so much information. I'm trying to keep this video not down to 20 minutes and everything like that. I know some people like it. I try to hit the sweet spot around 15 minutes or so, which I'm going to guess by now I've gone over a little bit, but nonetheless, hope you guys enjoy the video. Let me hear your thoughts. Can't even talk right now anymore. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments as always. Leave a like if you liked the video. Subscribe if you happen to be new. And until next time, everyone, I will see you in the next one.